straws in. It's super sweet, but kind of has like a fermented aftertaste.
Kind of reminds me of that mead that we made. Remember that?
Yes.
I love hard cider, but as a favorite food, I just don't see it.
Not for us. Our third US president was Thomas Jefferson, and his favorite food was mac and cheese. And apparently he seduced his wife playing the violin. Where are the ladies at? He was a statesman, planter, diplomat, lawyer, architect, philosopher, founding father, nation's first secretary, primary author of the Declaration of Independence, vice president, and president of the United States. AKA, this guy was quite the underachiever. And to plate, it's of course going into cheeseburger. No matter how hard I try, I just can't seem to escape this thing. And for our first Republican taste test, it is time for mac and cheese. This is really bringing me back to that time I cooked for that 5-year-old. I love Kraft mac and cheese.
The presentation is on point too, this wheel.
Makes it better. Putting our Republican approval rating at a 46, just barely beating out the Democrats. Well, let's move on. The fourth US president is James Madison, and his favorite food is ice cream. And somehow, with a food choice like this, he was still the smallest US president, weighing in at a whopping 100 pounds and a stature of 5'4". I love ice cream, but if it's gonna be a favorite food, I feel like it has to be safe.
Well, obviously you're gonna say your favorite food is a steak, but I have a sweet tooth and I like it.
I'm with you.
And some very strong scores for the Republicans. Let's move on. James Monroe was the 5th US president, and his favorite food was fried chicken. James Monroe governed in a time where the US population was a total of only 10 million, roughly the size of New York City, which is kind of crazy to think about. We're gloving up for this one. I mean, it's crunchy, it's juicy, we're all in agreement.
Biggest.
What?
I love chicken, but I prefer it grilled.
I know James Monroe is rolling in his grave right now, and you guys might not know this, but this was actually the same year that A1 steak sauce was invented. It's kind of crazy to think that this was made in the same time period as the Civil War.
Hey Max, there's a sink at the door for you.
That is so dumb.
You know, this country could use a delicious steak sauce.
Yeah, mid-Civil War. John Quincy Adams was the 6th US president, and his favorite food was fresh fruit. Seeing as cameras were invented in the early 1800s, John Quincy Adams was the very first president to be photographed. This is the only right way to cut a walk. Shout out Golden Bounce.
I eat fruit with like every meal, so I love this. I think it's a good call.
I think he's another cover vegan.
I don't hear this choice, I don't love it.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can. First up, let's talk about AI color themes. You can get any combos you want. Bright, minimalist, and sleek, or something you didn't even think of. Just describe the vibe you want, or even use the colors of your logo, and let AI do its thing. Beautiful. Next up is the AI section creator. This is great for those website essentials, like a contact section or a place to subscribe. Now, I'm running a sale, so I punch in some details, and just like that, I have a promo section. Functional and beautiful. I love it. Now, for the AI text screen, I got some products that need description, so I type in some keywords, and there it is. I've got copied that layout. Now, let's see what the AI image creator can do. Sometimes you just want to spice up your visual game. Type your idea and watch it turn into a high-quality image in seconds. You can have some real fun with this. If you need to tweak something, just brush it over, write what you want, and there it is. I may not be an artist, but that's art. If you're ready to build something you love, head to Wix.
friends.
These guys are like an old married couple over here.
Our 7th president is Andrew Jackson, and his favorite food was green beans and bacon. Andrew Jackson's face is on the $20 bill, and he apparently had a giant 1,400-pound block of cheese in the White House. This guy kind of sounds like an idiot. Who would ever buy that much cheese? He left it in the entrance hall of the White House to age for 2 years, and in 1837, he invited the public to come and eat it.
I'm not the biggest fan.
That's my sister right there. There is one element of this dish that I absolutely love, and one that I absolutely hate.
It kind of reminds me of when we from China. We would eat that green bean and minced meat.
Once again, an extremely artificially high number for the Democrats based on Kyle here.
What? I feel like you guys are teaming up or something. That tastes amazing. I love green beans.
Green beans. The 8th president was Martin Van Buren, and his favorite food was Oysters Rockefeller. Oysters Rockefeller is a classic. You start with fresh live oysters. You got a twin oyster. Look at that. After shucking you top with a creamy mixture, there's spinach in there and feta. It is an amazing combination, and it's finished off with some breadcrumbs. Fun fact about Martin Van Buren, he was the only president to have English as his second language, as he was Dutch. In fact, I'm half Dutch as well.
It reminds me of broccoli cheddar soup.
It's creamy, it's cheesy.
I like it, but I feel like all I can really taste is the top part, and I don't really taste my oyster.
Very strong showing for the Democrats. Moving on. Number 9 is William Henry Harrison, and believe it or not, his favorite food was squirrel stew. Now, I couldn't find a squirrel, so instead we're using a rabbit. Tibby, why does it kind of look like you? Now, I really don't eat rabbit too often, but every time I've had it, it's fantastic. Kind of wild fact about Harrison, but he delivered the longest inaugural address on record through incredibly cold weather. As a result, he developed a terrible cold, which led to his death. That is a tough way to go. Yeah, you remember that name Bun Bun?
I miss Bun Bun.
Well, he's evolved into his final form. Well, it's supposed to be squirrel, but the flavor of the stew is on point. The texture of the rabbit is like braised. Kind of reminds me of chicken.
It is a good soup.
I think this game meat thing isn't for me, to be honest. If that was actually squirrel meat, it probably would have been way worse.
And the 10th president was John Tyler. His favorite food was Indian pudding. I'm actually really excited about this one. It's like a spiced pudding with cinnamon, nutmeg. And fun fact about John Tyler, in a time period where the average family was about 5 people, he himself had 15 children and 2 wives. He was a very busy man. It reminds me of like the inside of a pumpkin pie. I wish there was more crunch to it. Like the crust is just so important.
I love the cinnamon and nutmeg hints that we get in there.
A little molasses too.
That doesn't do it justice. This is awesome. You guys should try to make it.
The 11th president was James Polk, and his favorite food was cornbread. He was a super sickly child and actually didn't begin his education until he was 18 years old. I guess that means pretty much anyone can be president. Kyle, you down?
Yeah, Kyle Tibby 2024.
I could eat it all day long.
It's average. It's nothing special.
For me, it has one use case. You're eating a bunch of ribs and you need to break up all the richness so you have a bite of cornbread. Well, the Republicans seem to be taking an early lead. Moving on. The 12th president was a man named Zachary Taylor, who unfortunately passed away after only 1 year of his presidency, but his favorite food was Southern-style rice fritters. He served during a time period where the price of beef was literally only 7 cents a pound. Just dreaming of all the ribeyes. The rice includes flour, sugar, and all sorts of aromatic flavors like cinnamon. I'm actually looking forward to this one.
Honestly, it's kind of like a worse fried dough. It's a bit dense.
The first taste I got was powdered sugar and cinnamon, but the inside just wasn't really doing it for me.
Yeah, I just feel like it doesn't need to be cooked from. I tasted it before and it was fantastic. Average across the board. Millard Fillmore was number 13 and he kept it classic with a beef stew. Super tender chuck roast with potatoes is my favorite way to do it. And this guy, Millard Fillmore, was Zachary Taylor's vice president, who only became president when Zachary Taylor passed in office.
It reminds me of the holiday time. You have those potatoes, the carrots, the beef, just all those flavors. Love it.
For me, it's kind of basic, and I way prefer like a hunk of meat like a sliced like a steak.
I also like having we're gonna have steak, like a nice piece of meat.
Another good showing for the Republicans to maintain the lead. The 14th president was named Franklin Pierce, and his favorite food was fried clams. He was known for having 7 small dogs and 2 birds, which were a gift from Japan.
That White House must have been nice.
And our Democrat and Republican approval ratings are still extremely close. Time for fried clams. Those right there.
I'm with you. That just reminds me of summer and just good childhood memories.
I'm really not the biggest fan of fried clams. I love raw oysters and things like that.
Sophia, I'm with you on this one. Our 15th president was James Buchanan, and his favorite food was sauerkraut. This man tried to mediate the North and the South, but ultimately failed in preventing the Civil War. I imagine that failure had something to do with his poor decision-making skills, as reflected by his choice.
I'm not looking forward to this one.
I really hope we can all reach some political food common ground in this. Sauerkraut deserves to be in one place and one place only, and that is in Reuben.
I don't disagree.
There's so many other things I'd rather eat.
That is a tough showing for the Democrats and could very well cost them this whole election. Number 16 was perhaps the most historically significant president of all time, and I'm proud to say that his favorite food was bacon. I mean, it doesn't get more American than this. Lincoln is credited with the abolishment of slavery, and he was an absolute beast at 6'4". Turns out he was also an amazing wrestler, losing only 1 out of his over 300 matches. Must have been from all that protein consumption. Sadly, his life was taken in a theater while he was celebrating the end of the Civil War, but he's gone down in history as a straight-up boss. Let me know in the comments if this is also your preferred bacon type, got a little bend to it, but still, it's crispy. If you're the type of man who's willing to publicly admit that bacon is your favorite food, that is a sign of confidence and strength.
Bacon is disgusting. Just kidding. Bacon's great.
I can only have like 1 or 2 pieces and then I get tired of it.
Get Max for the birthdays.
The 17th president was Andrew Johnson, and his favorite food was popcorn. Johnson actually never attended school at all. In fact, he taught himself how to read. He became the mayor of Greenville, Tennessee at the right age of 22, and he also bought the state of Alaska. I didn't even realize he could do that. I think I might have overdone it.